My goodest friends, my goodest friends, the functions of red blood cells is to transport oxygen. It is to transport oxygen from the lungs to the body cells. That's the function, all right? The function of red blood cells is to transport oxygen from the lungs through the heart, okay, get that pressure to the body. Okay, so now the red protein, okay, that we get to see in the red blood cells, we call them as hemoglobin. Hemoglobin. The red protein is what we term as hemoglobin. Now, when the blood, sorry guys, I'm LR syndrome, so don't be too much in LR my title. So, hey, they are blood, so please bear with me. So, when the blood reaches the lungs, like I've explained earlier, oxygen diffuses from the alveoli to the red blood cells. Listen, when the blood reaches the lungs, the oxygen in the lungs get to diffuse. It diffuses where? From the get to diffuse from the lungs alveoli like that. From the lungs alveoli, okay, to the red blood cells. To that by concave disc. All right. So the oxygen from the lungs is diffused through the alveoli to our concave disc, our red blood cells. So when it does that, these red blood cells now get to contain the oxygen. These get to have now oxygen. Then it keeps on flowing. Now this now is carrying oxygen to the heart. Then it is pumped with pressure, with high pressure, to the rest of the body. So now one might ask to say, but how? So now we are saying that when the oxygen from the lungs is diffused through the alveoli, it goes to the red blood cells. In the red blood cells, it gets to meet up with the hemoglobin. So when they meet up with the hemoglobin, they get to form a compound. All right, they get to form a compound called the oxyhemoglobin. Oxyhemoglobin. So if there is oxyhemoglobin, that means the one with the carbon dioxide, with no oxygen, deoxygenated blood, then on that red blood cells we can have the oxyhemoglobin, all right, as an opposite of oxyhemoglobin. So now, when the blood reaches the body cells, when the blood reaches the body cells, what it does that now, the oxyhemoglobin is easily split into oxygen and hemoglobin back. Ija compound is a panga, ikafika kuli body cells, ita split, okay? Oxygen and hemoglobin, all right? And again, the oxygen is diffused through the blood plasma, okay? It is diffused through the blood plasma. I hope you guys are getting it. I'm trying to make it as simple to understand as possible. All right? So it gets diffused to through the blood plasma to the cells. Now, having said that, let's talk about now the adaptation. All right? Let's talk about the adaptation. How does the red blood cells adapt to their functions? Let's talk about that.